Star Citizen is one of the greatest games of all time. I sincerely hope that my children's 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 children are gonna have the opportunity to sell their house so they can become an early supporter for Star Citizen, so that their children's 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 children have the opportunity of maybe playing in an early alpha version of the game. Ah, what a great opportunity indeed.
Star Citizen Week in Review 4.3 is released and we get Gaslit. Gaslight level 100. I
When Luke says your game is a scam, that it goes deep.
have heard from so many people in the last handful of weeks that Star Citizen and the community is starting to like actually lose their minds, because content creators are asking to be able to like, they want to call this stuff out, they want to be able to bring it up and like call out the devs for stupid stuff they're doing, but they feel like if they do, they immediately get shut down by their own community. It's very interesting.
That coming from Luke is so sad.
Very, very interesting. Yeah, it's just shocker. Star Citizen is a bit of a mess, and the community is frustrated because it feels like the devs only care about money and are not concerned with the long-term health of the game. And the problem is right now that
When did you get that impression? I got it like years ago at this point. Hasn't Star Citizen been in development? How long Star Citizen has been in development? What? Let me check actually. Star Citizen development time. Oh, look at that. That's one of the most frequently asked questions. Star Citizen development began in 2011, 2012, with the official Kickstarter campaign in 2012, and it has been in development for over 30 years as of 2025. This garbage is taking longer than Todd Howard's magnus opus called Starfield. Jesus.
that Star Citizen has a lot of money, but they also have a ridiculously massive enterprise to keep going with that money, and they don't have any seemingly game plan beyond hope for monetizing it long term.
I'm pretty sure people figured this out like 2 years in. I'm pretty sure people figured this out like 2 years in of Star Citizen.
Because I'm telling you what, if you try to release Star Citizen's shop of like $1,500 ships, $800 ships, $300 ships.
Oh, you better not talk about that. The last time I talked about how expensive Star Citizen ships were, and the most expensive was like 100K or something, there were a bunch of people who were saying, well, it doesn't actually matter because you can farm those ships, okay? You don't have to buy them. Man, that is probably an extremely sad and unfulfilling life to have.
You try to release that on the PlayStation Store, Xbox, Steam, it will not go over well. It just won't. Talk about review bombing. I mean, just you wait. You can't do that. Like the casual...
Calling that review bombing is so unfair, okay? That is a decision that if you make, you deserve the negative reviews. That's not review bombing. That's just getting what you deserve.
Quote-unquote casual audience that's not hardcore into Star Citizen already, they will not tolerate that. So they have to find some way of reworking it to appeal to the mass market where they'll accept it and they can make money from that audience. But the entire game is built around these egregious microtransactions. So what the hell do you do? Like, they have to stop the gravy train now to shift it to a different track and get going again. But nobody wants to stop the gravy train because they're doing quite well on it. And it's not guaranteed that even after you switch tracks, you'll...
Star Citizen has almost like accumulated. It's close to getting 1 billion in accumulated funding.
Still make money. It's still not guaranteed. Like, you might switch tracks and then find out that nobody on PlayStation or Steam or Xbox gives a crap. Yeah, the single player campaign, Squadron 42, that's what I mean when they say they're relying on hope. The hope is they release Squadron 42 and that generates a big influx of cash and it funnels new players into the persistent universe. It's not the craziest idea, But ultimately, it is a matter of hoping that, for one, it reviews well, because like non-hardcore Star Citizen fans are going to rely on reviews to determine whether it's worth $70 or $60, whatever they charge for it. It's
Oh
also
Jesus! Keep in mind when someone like Luke says $70, he actually means 80 because it's 79.99. Obviously, not 7. Okay, it's actually 80. But for Luke, it doesn't matter a lot because his family is rich. They're a bunch of lawyers and shit. So I mean, for him, $10, $20, $100, or $2,000 is not a honestly big deal.
not clear to me if single player gamers who play Squadron 42, it's not clear to me that they would convert into the persistent universe. They some of them will, certainly, but I don't know if that number is 5% or 20% or 30% or 80%. I don't know what percentage converts, but I don't think it's a ridiculous amount, because they're fundamentally different experiences. One is like scripted and linear, or sort of linear, and narrative focused. One is much more about player agency and freedom. So they're just fundamentally different. And I also think even after you've funneled some of those people through, because we're talking about brand new players who have never touched Star Citizen before, they try Squadron 42. Ooh, I really like that. Let me move over to the persistent universe. And I think if they go over there and then they're exposed for the first time, because there's some people that have never been exposed to like the Star Citizen pricing schemes for ships and stuff, it's going to be
Oh, they've been exposed. I mean, it would be completely different games, so it wouldn't even make sense.
a bit of shell shock. And I understand people who play it are like, well, you don't have to buy it. You can play without buying it. But pretty much everybody I've ever talked to in regards to Star Citizen who says you don't have to buy those ships. Like, I'm trying to think of an exception, but I think every single person I've talked to who has said that has also spent hundreds of dollars minimum on ships. And
Makes sense. Oh, you can farm them in a day. Yeah, I kind of am gonna call out lies to that because it seems obviously lies. But people have been trying to say, oh no, you can, man, you can farm like the biggest, most expensive ship that costs 100K in Star Citizen in a week if you just try hard enough. I don't know about that one. That sounds like blatant, obvious lies, but okay.
like, okay, so it's possible to have fun with the game without spending money, but you're still spending lots of money. Maybe it's because you just
It's also possible to be a crack addict without actually having the money to buy crack, but that's not exactly a great experience, most people would agree with.
love the game so much, you know? And it, like, you're an adult. You can spend money however you want. That's fine. I'm not like, how dare you? Like, I don't give a crap. Okay, it's your money. Spend it how you want. But my point is,
I do give a lot of craps, by the way, just saying. And instead of spending that money on Star Citizen, give it to me. You can donate to me. It's fine. It's not a big issue. Go ahead, donate. It's way better than buying a stupid Starfield ship. Okay? Maybe I even will read your message. Who honestly knows? Okay? Just remember, it's always better to give me money because otherwise I will not be able to feed my family of 3 wives and 7 children. And you wouldn't want them to go starving now, would you? You wouldn't want aggression to happen. You wouldn't want anything, right? I'm kidding, YouTube. I'm kidding.
if you're trying, like, their whole thing is that they need to get more people funneled into the universe to start spending money as they scale it up to 1.0 and launch it. And I just don't think the more like mass market broad appeal, I don't think they will tolerate or allow for the pricing conventions currently at play within Star Citizen.
I love how he just randomly uses these small, eloquent words. He says a lot, but he doesn't say anything really. You could have just said that whole sentence in 2 or 3 words. Players are not gonna accept this. Players are not gonna accept this. I mean, that's a little bit more words, but there's no reason to make all of this so eloquent. Oh, this fromage and shit.
I just don't think that converts well. And so I think if they want to appeal to the mass market, they need to scale down the selling the ships. They need to cut out the stupid crap with like selling blades and the ship augments and stuff. They can't do that at all. Because the
Oh yeah, that part there's just pay to win because there's no way to even farm that. And at least that's what I heard last time. This could be old news, this could be old information, I could be wrong about that. But there are things that you can't even farm. It's literally just by buying power.
the main like gaming community is not going to tolerate that. We freak out over like $30 skins, much less freaking like you remember like the $80 mount in WoW went viral for how egregiously greedy it was. And that was
Yeah, and then Blizzard said like sold literally like 100 more of those and it was all fine.
just like basically a skin for a mount, you know, that wasn't even that ridiculous compared to like a $1,500 ship macro transactions. Yeah, literally. And I understand people like, well, it's meant for you to buy within an org and it's not really meant for one player to buy those ships. I agree. I understand
That makes it even stupider, by the way.
all of that. But do you think that the average person who has never experienced this stuff is going to get that? No, they're just going to log in and see, oh, this ship is available for $1,500 and they will bail and never touch it again. And they need those people's money in order to stay afloat. Like that's the problem, is that the scoff price for the Star Citizen hardcore gamer is very high. They'll see $1,500 price tag and scoff. Maybe I'm not doing that. I'm not buying that. But they see a $400 ship and they don't scoff, and they're like, well, hold on a second, that looks like it could be pretty fun. And then they might even consider buying it. They save up and they buy it, whatever. The scoff price for the average gamer that's like they're trying to.
Anyway, that was our shill friend Luke. 10 out of 10. Star Citizen, Camp Citizen. There's a reason they call it that. Anyway, bye.